Women rarely express their emotions in a direct, straightforward way. At least, not in the way most men expect. Instead, their feelings often surface subtly, woven into everyday conversations through carefully chosen words and phrases. These words might seem casual or insignificant to someone not paying close attention, but to a man who truly listens, they reveal something much deeper, an emotional shift, a growing attachment, and a level of trust she may not even be fully aware of herself. This video will break down 6 key phrases women use when developing real feelings. These aren't just random words, they are signals, quiet indicators that her emotions toward you are evolving. Knowing how to recognize them gives you a unique insight into her heart before she openly admits her feelings. The key to understanding these phrases is active listening. Women communicate in layers, expecting the right man to read between the lines. What may seem like an offhand remark reflects her growing emotional investment in you. By the end of this video, you will know precisely what to listen for and learn how to respond in a way that deepens the connection and strengthens your bond. And here's something you won't want to miss. Stay until the end for a special bonus tip that will give you even more insight into how women communicate their emotions. Let's dive in. Number 1. I've never told anyone this before. When a woman says, "I've never told anyone this before," it is more than a casual statement. It is a deliberate act of emotional openness, a signal that she is lowering her guard and allowing you into a space few have entered. This phrase is significant because it reveals 2 fundamental truths about her mindset. She feels emotionally safe with you. She wants to build a deeper connection by sharing something that holds personal weight. Trust is not given freely. It is earned through consistent presence, empathy, and understanding. When a woman shares something deeply personal, she tests the relationship's security and your ability to handle vulnerability with care. Women do not open up to just anyone. They reserve this level of intimacy for those who have demonstrated reliability and emotional depth. The moment she confesses something private, she observes your reaction, gauging whether you can be trusted with the more delicate aspects of her inner world. Emotional vulnerability is a crucial element in attraction and long-term connection. People bond through shared experiences, but what cements a relationship is the ability to share emotions without fear of judgment. When she offers you a glimpse into her private thoughts or past experiences, she invites you to step beyond the surface-level dynamics of attraction and into something much more profound. If you respond with indifference or dismissiveness, that door may quietly close. If you respond attentively and care, it swings open, forming a stronger emotional bond. The key to handling this moment correctly is to be fully present. Put down your phone, maintain eye contact, and eliminate distractions. Listen with intention, letting her know what she says matters to you. A simple yet powerful way to acknowledge her trust is by validating her feelings, saying something like, "That must have been difficult for you," or "I appreciate you sharing that with me." Reassures her that she made the right choice in confiding in you. But listening alone is not enough. True intimacy is built on reciprocity. If she shares something deeply personal, it is an opportunity for you to do the same. You don't need to match the level of vulnerability immediately, but revealing something about yourself in return creates a balanced exchange of trust. The goal is not to compete in emotional depth, but to show that you are also capable of openness. The most overlooked aspect of deepening this connection is following up. If she shares something meaningful, remember it. Bring it up in a later conversation to show you truly listened. Asking about her feelings regarding the topic she shared, or referencing it meaningfully reinforces her trust in you. It tells her that you see her, that you value her, and that she is safe with you emotionally. Attraction may begin with physical appeal, but relationships thrive on emotional connection. A woman's heart is not won through grand gestures alone, but through the steady, reliable presence of a man who makes her feel understood. When she says, "I've never told anyone this before," she offers you more than just words. She is extending an invitation to something far more significant. Whether that invitation leads to a deeper bond or a missed opportunity depends entirely on how you respond. Number 2, you're so different from other guys. When a woman says, "You're so different from other guys," it's not just a casual compliment. It reflects something more profound. Acknowledging that you have stood out in a way that piques her interest, challenges her expectations, and makes her reevaluate how she perceives you. This phrase carries both admiration and curiosity, signaling that she sees qualities in you that set you apart from the men she has encountered before. Attraction is not just about physical appeal. It is primarily shaped by psychological perception. Women are naturally drawn to men who exhibit traits distinguishing them from the crowd. When she makes this remark, you have engaged her selective attention. Her mind is zeroing in on the aspects of your personality or behavior that feel fresh and compelling. This could be the way you confidently carry yourself, the way you communicate with depth and authenticity, or the way you handle situations with a calm and assertive presence. It's a subconscious evaluation that positions you as someone worth knowing on a deeper level. This statement also reveals a contrast between expectation and reality. Every woman has a mental framework based on her past experiences with men, whether positive or negative. She has encountered behaviors that have shaped her assumptions. Some men may have been unreliable, unconfident, or overly predictable. When she tells you you are different, she signals you have surpassed these preconceived notions. You have disrupted the pattern, creating a moment of intrigue that makes her want to learn more. The key to responding effectively lies in how you handle the compliment. Many men brush it off, downplay it, or deflect it with self-deprecating humor, but this is a mistake. Confidence is attractive, and a man who can accept admiration with grace reinforces the very qualities that made him stand out in the first place. Instead of dismissing her words, acknowledge them with sincerity. A simple "that means a lot to me" show appreciation without sounding needy or seeking validation. To deepen the connection, encourage elaboration. Asking, "What makes you say that?" shifts the conversation in a direction where she articulates what she finds appealing about you. This lets you understand how she perceives you and strengthens her emotional investment in the interaction. When she verbalizes the qualities she admires, she reinforces those thoughts, making her attraction toward you more concrete. Ultimately, being different from other guys is not about trying too hard to be unique. It's about cultivating qualities that naturally set you apart. Confidence without arrogance, authenticity without pretense, and an intriguing and reassuring presence. When a woman expresses this sentiment, take it as a sign that you are on the right path, leaving a lasting impression beyond mere words. Number 3. When she asks, "What do you think?" When a woman asks, "What do you think about?" she isn't just making conversation. She's inviting you into a deeper level of emotional and intellectual connection. This question indicates that she values your perspective and is genuinely interested in understanding how your mind works. It goes beyond small talk and reveals an underlying desire to gauge compatibility, build rapport, and establish a foundation of mutual respect. Women don't ask this question randomly. They typically bring it up when discussing topics that matter to them: relationships, future aspirations, personal values, or even abstract ideas about life. In these moments, she's not just looking for an answer, but for insight into who you are. She wants to see if your thought process aligns with hers, and if you are someone she can respect, trust, and potentially build something meaningful with. Psychologically, this question taps into two key principles of attraction. First, it builds rapport by fostering a sense of connection and shared understanding. When actively seeks your input, she sees you as someone whose opinions carry weight. Second, it provides cognitive validation, a concept rooted in the idea that people naturally value the perspectives of those they admire. If she is drawn to you, she will subconsciously want to integrate your viewpoints into her decision-making. Your response to this question matters more than you think. A generic or dismissive answer can make her feel like you're not engaged, while a thoughtful, well-articulated response signals intelligence, depth, and emotional presence. Instead of giving a quick, surface-level answer, take a moment to reflect on the topic. Show her that you care about what she's asking, and more importantly, demonstrate your well-formed opinions. One of the most effective ways to respond is to turn the question back to her. Not only does this keep the conversation flowing, but it also shows that you respect her thoughts. A great way to engage is by saying, "That's an interesting question. I think it depends on the situation. But what about you? What do you think?" This keeps the dialogue balanced and signals that you're not just focused on your views, but are genuinely interested in hers. Women are naturally drawn to men who can hold meaningful conversations, and this question presents an opportunity to showcase your depth. The key is to remain authentic. Don't try to say what you think she wants to hear. Instead, express your honest perspective with confidence while remaining open to hers. This balance between assertiveness and receptivity is what creates true attraction. Over time, as she continues to ask for your thoughts, you'll notice that these moments become more frequent and personal. This celebrates that she sees you as someone whose perspective she values deeply. By responding thoughtfully, engaging her in deeper discussions, and reciprocating their curiosity, you solidify a connection that goes beyond the surface, leading to a relationship built on genuine understanding and emotional depth. Number 4. I feel so comfortable around you. When a woman tells you, "I feel so comfortable around you," she expresses something far more profound than simple words. This phrase signifies trust, emotional safety, and the beginning of genuine intimacy. Women do not open up to just anyone. Comfort is earned through consistency, emotional intelligence, and the ability to create an environment where they feel safe to be themselves. If she expresses this level of ease around you, she sees you as someone she can trust, who will not judge her, and who can be vulnerable without fear of rejection. Attraction often starts with intrigue, excitement, and chemistry, but the long-term connection is built on emotional safety. Women naturally guard themselves until they are sure that the person they invest their emotions will not hurt them. Suppose she lets down her guard around you. In that case, your actions have shown her that you are reliable and steady, that your behavior does not fluctuate unpredictably, and that you offer stability in a chaotic world. This is one of the deepest forms of attraction because it moves beyond surface-level appeal and enters the realm of genuine emotional connection. Authenticity is another key factor that contributes to this feeling of comfort. Women are incredibly perceptive when picking up on inconsistencies in behavior. Suppose you present one version of yourself in the early stages of attraction, but shift into someone entirely different over time. In that case, trust erodes, and so does her willingness to be vulnerable. However, when you are genuinely yourself from the start, unapologetically confident, emotionally present, and clear about your intentions, she will feel naturally drawn to you. Authenticity fosters security, and security allows relationships to deepen beyond superficial attraction. So, how should you respond when she tells you she feels comfortable around you? The key is to acknowledge and reinforce that sense of safety. A simple yet powerful response like, "That means a lot to me. I'm happy you feel that way," validates her emotions while showing that you value the connection you are building. But words alone are not enough. Your actions must continue to align with her sense of safety. This means being stable in her life, listening without judgment, and ensuring that she never regrets opening up to you. One of the men's most common mistakes is misinterpreting comfort as a lack of romantic attraction. Some believe that if a woman feels too safe around them, they have entered the friend zone. In reality, emotional comfort is one of the strongest indicators that a woman genuinely invests in you. It signals that she sees potential for something lasting, and that she envisions a future where she can be herself without fear of rejection or emotional instability. The mistake is not in making her feel comfortable, but in failing to balance emotional safety and romantic excitement. Maintaining this balance means continuing to challenge her, inspire her, and keep the dynamic engaging, while still being the safe space she can return to. Just as women seek adventure and excitement in a relationship, they also crave the kind of security that allows them to be vulnerable without fear of being taken for granted. This is why the most successful relationships are those where a man can be both a source of excitement and stability, a leader she respects and someone she feels at peace with. The next time a woman tells you she feels comfortable around you, recognize the weight of that statement. It means you have passed one of the most significant psychological checkpoints in attraction. It is not just a casual remark. It indicates that she is beginning to see you as someone she can trust with her emotions, thoughts, and, ultimately, her heart. If you nurture this trust, continue to provide stability, and maintain the spark of attraction, you will build a connection that is not only deep but also lasting. Number 5. I was thinking about you. Few words can carry as much weight in a relationship as the simple phrase, "I was thinking about you." It may seem casual, but it signals something far more meaningful beneath the surface, a growing emotional attachment. When a woman takes the time to express that you've been on her mind, she's revealing a more profound connection, an unspoken acknowledgement that you hold a special place in her thoughts, even when you're not together. This phrase is a powerful indicator of emotional anchoring. In psychology, emotional anchoring refers to how our brains link certain people to positive feelings. The more a person associates someone with warmth, comfort, or happiness, the more often that person comes to mind. When she tells you she's been thinking about you, she's not just stating a fact. She's reinforcing that you have a presence in her emotional world that lingers beyond your direct interactions. Beyond anchoring, this expression also plays into the principle of reciprocity in affection. She may not consciously be seeking a response, but on a deeper level she hopes for a similar sentiment in return. Relationships thrive on mutual emotional investment, and when one person signals attachment, they naturally hope the other feels the same way. Her words are an invitation, an opening for you to acknowledge her feelings, and if you think the same, to reciprocate. How you respond in this moment matters. Acknowledging her sentiment with genuine appreciation strengthens the bond between you. A simple but meaningful reply such as, "That's sweet, what made you think of me?" validates her emotions and keeps the conversation warm and engaging. If you honestly have been thinking about her as well, sharing that sentiment deepens the emotional connection, reinforcing the sense of closeness, contrary to the assumption of ancient philosophy. However, authenticity is key. If you haven't thought about her similarly, responding with kindness rather than forced reciprocity is better. You don't need to mirror her words exactly, but you can express appreciation in a way that aligns with your true feelings. Relationships built on honesty and sincere emotional exchanges are the ones that stand the test of time. When a woman says, "I was thinking about you," she's giving you a glimpse into her emotions. She's revealing that you've left an impression, that your presence lingers even in your absence. Understanding the weight of this statement and responding with thoughtfulness can be the difference between a fleeting connection and a lasting bond. Number 6. I've never told anyone this before. When a woman says, "I've never told anyone this before," it's a powerful phrase that signifies a moment of deep trust and emotional vulnerability. This statement is not made lightly. It represents a significant milestone in the relationship, signaling that she feels safe enough to share something personal and intimate with you. By revealing something she has kept to herself, she invites you into her inner world and expresses a desire for closeness. The phrase is often repeated because it holds tremendous weight. When repeated, it reinforces the idea that she's confiding in you with something significant, not just casual information. It's her way of saying that what she's sharing is not only important to her, but also something she doesn't share with just anyone. It indicates exclusivity and a sign that she's ready to deepen your emotional connection. In response, it's crucial to practice active listening. Avoid interrupting her or rushing to fill the silence with words. Instead, give her space to express herself fully. Acknowledge her trust by saying, "Thank you for trusting me with this." This simple expression of gratitude shows that you appreciate her vulnerability and don't take it for granted. Furthermore, she validates her emotions by acknowledging the difficulty of sharing something so personal. You might say, "That must have been difficult to share," which helps her feel seen and heard. It's essential to avoid giving unsolicited advice unless she specifically asks for it. Offering advice can sometimes feel dismissive of her feelings and might give the impression that you're not fully listening. Instead, focus on being present with her and allowing the conversation to unfold naturally. Your ability to listen without judgment, offer understanding, and validate her emotions will strengthen your bond and create a space for deeper connection. Understanding women's communication, building emotional safety and trust. Communication is more than words in relationships. It's an intricate dance of emotional cues, subtle signals, and unspoken thoughts. Women often communicate indirectly, especially when it comes to sensitive topics. This indirect communication is not a form of manipulation, but a protective mechanism. Trust, emotional safety, and vulnerability are key elements in any deep relationship, and women will often test these emotional boundaries before fully opening up. When a woman expresses something indirectly, she's not necessarily trying to confuse or mislead you. Instead, she's assessing the emotional depth of the relationship and checking whether you're someone she can trust with her vulnerability. For example, she might share a slight concern about a personal issue or a worry about the future, and she will closely observe how you respond. If you dismiss it or react defensively, she'll pull back, sensing that it's not a safe space to open up further. The key to navigating these moments is to respond with empathy and appreciation. If she shares a vulnerability, acknowledge it with a compassionate response. For instance, recognize her feelings first instead of brushing off her concerns or offering an immediate solution. You might say, "I understand that must be hard for you," or "I'm happy you shared that with me." This reassures her that her emotions are valid and that she is heard. Once you acknowledge her vulnerability, encourage deeper conversation by asking follow-up questions. This shows that you care and are invested in understanding her on a deeper level. Allowing her to express herself fully before offering advice or opinions is essential. Give her the space to speak her mind without interrupting, even if you have something meaningful. When she feels heard, she's more likely to open up and build a stronger connection with you. Reciprocity plays a vital role in emotional intimacy. When she shares something personal with you, responding to your thoughts and feelings is essential. This creates a balanced exchange and fosters a sense of closeness. Sharing your vulnerabilities makes the relationship feel more balanced and invites her to continue sharing without fear of judgment. Being dismissive is one of the men's most common mistakes in these situations. When a woman opens up, she seeks empathy and understanding, not judgment or criticism. Dismissing her emotions or responding with indifference can cause her to shut down and retreat. Similarly, getting defensive can have the same effect. It's important, rather than reacting to protect your emotions, focus on creating a safe space where she feels comfortable being open and honest. Another mistake is overloading responses with too much information or trying to fix the issue immediately. Women often just want to be heard. They don't necessarily need solutions. While offering advice is sometimes helpful, it's more important to let her fully express herself before responding. Giving her the time and space to speak her truth without interruption fosters a sense of emotional security that can deepen your connection. Building emotional safety in a relationship requires patience, attentiveness, and a willingness to engage at a deeper level. When you respond to her indirect communication with empathy, understanding, and vulnerability, you create a foundation of trust and emotional intimacy that strengthens your bond. It's not about perfection. Showing up with genuine care and making her feel safe to share herself with you. In relationships, how we communicate often goes beyond what's said out loud. Specific phrases and subtle cues can reveal hidden emotions, offering insight into what someone feels deep down. For men, being attuned to these emotional signals can be a game changer in building stronger, more meaningful connections. It's not always about hearing the words, but understanding the emotions beneath them. When you pick up on these indirect messages, it opens up opportunities to respond in a way that builds trust, fosters intimacy, and creates a deeper emotional bond. The key is to approach these moments with thoughtfulness, allowing yourself the space to process and respond authentically. Forcing emotions or trying to rush the development of a relationship rarely leads to genuine connection. Instead, let things unfold naturally. The most meaningful bonds form when both people feel heard, seen, and understood. By applying this awareness of emotional cues and indirect communication, you can create a relationship dynamic where both partners feel safe to express their true selves. Understanding these dynamics is crucial as it allows men to recognize emotional signals early on, allowing them to navigate relationships more clearly and purposefully. By being mindful of these subtle signs, you'll find that you can create more profound and more authentic relationships. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences on this. Do you find it easy to pick up on these hidden emotions? Or have you had moments where things were unclear? Share your insights in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on understanding emotions, relationships, and personal growth. There's always more to discover, and I'm excited to continue exploring these topics with you.